OpenAI.
Breaking news right now on OpenAI.
OpenAI and Altman are on a quest to develop AGI, or artificial general intelligence.
Please, welcome to the stage, Sam Altman.
November 23rd, 2023. The OpenAI office in San Francisco is in chaos. Employees are panicking, investors are furious, and the entire tech world is holding its breath. Sam Altman, CEO of the company that created ChatGPT, has just been fired by the board of directors. But this is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning of a 5-day drama that will shake Silicon Valley and change the future of artificial intelligence. Today, we tell the story of the man at the epicenter of the technological revolution of our time. Sam Altman, a prodigy who became a millionaire at 19, president of Y Combinator, creator of OpenAI, and the face of the future of artificial intelligence. His path is full of unexpected twists, contradictions, and decisions that could change the fate of humanity. How did a boy from St. Louis become one of the most influential people in the tech world? What drives the man who strives to create artificial intelligence that surpasses the human mind? And what price is he willing to pay for his dream? Get ready for a thrilling journey through the life of Sam Altman, from the first lines of code to the creation of the most talked about technology of our time. We will uncover unknown facts about his biography, talk about his ups and downs, and try to understand what awaits us in the future he is helping to create. And at the end, we will discuss what qualities helped Sam Altman become who he is now, a visionary changing the world before our eyes. Samuel H. Altman was born on April 22, 1985, to a Jewish family in Chicago, Illinois. However, he spent his childhood in the suburbs of St. Louis, Missouri. Sam's parents, Connie and Mark Altman, created an environment for their children that fostered intellectual development and creativity. Connie worked as a dermatologist, and Mark was a real estate entrepreneur. From an early age, Sam showed extraordinary abilities and an interest in technology. At the age of 8, he received his first computer, a Mac Plus, which became a real window into the world of programming for him. I was obsessed with this machine, Altman recalled. Instead of playing video games, I spent hours sitting at HyperCard creating my own programs. HyperCard, a visual programming environment from Apple, became young Sam's first tool. He created interactive stories, simple games like Guess the Number, and even tried to make a program to help with homework. My first serious project was a program that helped me learn vocabulary words, Altman said. It showed the word, gave me time to memorize it, and then checked if I spelled it correctly. These early experiments with code laid the foundation for Sam's future career. Even then, I realized that with programming, you can create things that solve real problems, he noted. It was like magic, only better because I could control every aspect of the world I created. Attending John Burroughs School in St. Louis was a period of intense self-discovery for Altman. His participation in school debates was particularly significant. In debates, we often discussed social problems, minority rights, and issues of identity, Sam later recalled. One day we were preparing a debate about the rights of the LGBT community. I immersed myself in researching the topic and unexpectedly realized that much of what I read resonated with my feelings. This experience, combined with the support of the school's open and liberal atmosphere, helped Sam realize and accept his homosexuality. At John Burroughs, no one was condemned for being different. On the contrary, we were taught to value the uniqueness of each person, Altman noted. This realization became an important step in the formation of his personality and largely determined his future position as an openly gay leader in the tech industry. However, school years were not cloudless for Altman. He often felt like an outsider, not fitting into traditional social groups. I was a strange kid who was more interested in computers than sports or typical teenage entertainment, Sam later recalled. This otherness only strengthened his desire for self-realization through technology. In 2003, at the age of 18, Altman entered Stanford University, where he began studying computer science. However, his stay at one of the best technology universities in the world was short-lived. After just 2 years, Sam left Stanford to devote himself entirely to his first startup. The idea for Looped came to Altman while he was still studying at Stanford. It was a mobile phone application that allowed users to share their location with friends. In 2005, when the concept of geolocation services was still new, Sam, along with co-founder Nick Sevo, decided to drop out of university and focus entirely on developing Looped. The decision to leave Stanford was risky, but Altman was confident in his idea. I realized that education could wait, and the opportunity to create something truly innovative might not come again, he later later said. Looped quickly attracted the attention of investors. In 2006, when Sam was only 21 years old, the company received $5 million in funding from the venture capital fund Sequoia Capital. This made Altman one of the youngest founders to receive such significant funding. However, Loop's path was littered with technical obstacles. "We faced problems we didn't even know existed when we started," Altman recalled. One of the main difficulties was the accuracy of location determination. GPS chips in phones at that time were inaccurate and energy-intensive. Sometimes the app showed that your friend was in the next block, when in fact he was in another city, Sam said. The Loop team tried to solve this problem by combining GPS data with information from cell towers and Wi-Fi hotspots. They developed complex algorithms to improve accuracy, but this led to another problem: high power consumption. Phones literally ran out of battery in a few hours of using our app, Altman admitted. Sam and his team worked day and night, trying to optimize the code. They experimented with different location update intervals, trying to find a balance between accuracy and energy efficiency. "We even tried to predict when the user really needed to update their location based on their previous movement patterns," Altman explained. Despite all efforts, technical problems continued to plague Looped. Meanwhile, new competitors such as Foursquare entered the market with simpler and less energy-intensive solutions. "It was a painful lesson," Altman concluded. "Sometimes being first to market is not an advantage, but a headache. We were spending resources solving fundamental technical problems, while competitors could focus on improving the user experience." Despite the difficulties, Altman continued to develop the company. He worked 18 hours a day, often sleeping in the office. "I was obsessed with the idea of making Looped successful. It wasn't just a business, it was my life," Sam recalled. In 2012, Looped was sold for $43.4 million to Green Dot Corporation. Although this amount was less than the total investment Looped received during its existence, the sale was an important lesson for Altman. He understood the value of responding quickly to market changes and the importance of choosing the right time to launch a product. After selling Looped, Sam Altman did not rest on his laurels. He decided to use his experience and knowledge to help other startups. In 2014, he joined Y Combinator, or YC, one of the most famous startup accelerators in the world. Y Combinator was founded in 2005 by Paul Graham, Jessica Livingston, Trevor Blackwell, and Robert Morris. The company quickly became a legend in the world of startups, helping to launch projects such as Airbnb, Dropbox, and Reddit. Interestingly, Altman was familiar with YC long before he became its president. In 2005, Looped was one of the first startups accepted into the accelerator program. Sam learned firsthand how valuable the support of experienced entrepreneurs and investors can be in the early stages of a company's development. When Paul Graham decided to step down as president of YC in 2014, he personally chose Altman as his successor. This decision surprised many in Silicon Valley. Sam was only 28 years old, and some doubted his ability to lead such an influential organization. However, Altman quickly proved that Graham's choice was the right one. Under Altman's leadership, Y Combinator underwent significant changes. Sam not only increased the number of startups in each batch from 60 to over 200, but he completely rethought the approach to their selection and support. One striking example was the startup Airbnb. When founders Brian Chesky, Joe Gebbia, and Nathan Bleharczyk came to YC, their ideas seemed absurd to many. Altman recalled, "We saw the potential in Airbnb to change the travel industry. I personally worked with the team to improve their presentation and business model. We helped them rethink it, not just as a platform for renting accommodation, but as a way to create a unique travel experience." Another example was Stripe, the payment service of the Collison brothers. Altman said, "When Patrick and John came to us, they had a raw idea to simplify online payments. We helped them focus on developers as a key audience. I spent countless hours discussing APIs and user experience with them." Altman also introduced new programs, such as YC Research. This nonprofit division engaged in fundamental research in artificial intelligence and other advanced technologies. Sam explained, "We realized that to create truly breakthrough technologies, we need long-term research that is not limited by commercial goals. YC Research became our contribution to the future of technology." Under Altman's leadership, YC also began actively investing in startups working on solving global problems. For example, he supported Ginkgo Bioworks, a synthetic biology company. "We saw in Ginkgo the potential to revolutionize the production of materials and medicines," Sam said. "This is an example of how technology can solve global challenges." One of Altman's most ambitious projects at YC was the program to find solutions to global problems facing humanity. He proposed funding startups working on challenges such as combating climate change, extending human life, and creating artificial intelligence. "We want to find and support companies that can change the world for the better," Altman stated. "This is not just business. It is our responsibility to the future." Under Sam's leadership, Y Combinator became not just an accelerator, but a real force shaping the future of the technology industry. By 2019, the combined value of companies that went through YC exceeded $100 billion. However, not all of Altman's initiatives at YC were successful. For example, his attempt to create a new city in California, which was supposed to be a model of urban planning for the future, faced numerous problems and was eventually postponed. Despite this, Altman's time at Y Combinator is considered a period of rapid growth and innovation. He not only expanded the scope of the organization's activities, but also changed its philosophy, emphasizing projects with global potential impact. In 2019, Sam announced his resignation as president of YC to focus on another ambitious project, OpenAI. However, his influence on the world of startups and venture capital remains significant to this day. The story of OpenAI began in 2015 when Sam Altman, along with Elon Musk and a group of other technology leaders, decided to create a nonprofit organization for research in the field of artificial intelligence. The idea was to develop AI openly and safely for the benefit of all humanity and not in the interests of individual corporations. The initial funding for OpenAI was $1 billion, with Altman and Musk being key investors. "We want AI to be available and useful to everyone, not just a select few," Altman stated at the start of the project. However, the relationship between the co-founders was not always smooth. The relationship between Sam Altman and Elon Musk, which began as a partnership of like-minded individuals, went through a difficult period of transformation. Initially, Musk was one of the key investors in OpenAI, investing $100 million in the project. Elon was inspired by the idea of creating safe AI for the benefit of humanity, Altman recalled. His energy and vision were invaluable in the early stages. However, as OpenAI developed, disagreements began to arise. Altman said, "Elon and I often argued about the speed of AI development and the methods of ensuring its safety. Elon believed that we were moving too fast, while I believed that only active research would help us prepare for future challenges." In 2018, Musk left the OpenAI board of directors. The official reason was cited as a conflict of interest with Tesla, but Altman later admitted the reality was more complicated. "Our views on the future of AI and the methods of achieving our goals became too different." OpenAI's decision to create a commercial division in 2019 further exacerbated the relationship. Musk publicly criticized this move, calling it a departure from the original principles. Altman countered, "We did not abandon our goals. Commercialization was necessary to attract the resources needed to compete with large technology companies." Despite the disagreements, Altman continued to respect Musk's contribution. "Without Elon, OpenAI might not have happened," he said. "Our paths diverged, but I am grateful for his initial support and continue to value his opinion on the risks of AI." Despite these disagreements, OpenAI continued to develop actively under Altman's leadership. In 2019, the organization changed its structure, creating the commercial division OpenAI LP, which allowed it to attract additional funding for large-scale research. OpenAI's breakthrough in the field of language models began with GPT-2, introduced in February 2019. This model, containing 1.5 billion parameters, was trained on a massive corpus of texts from the internet and demonstrated an amazing ability to generate coherent and contextually relevant texts. Altman recalled the development process. "When we started testing GPT-2, we were amazed by its capabilities. It could continue stories, answer questions, and even write compelling articles on a given topic. This was the moment we realized we were on the verge of something revolutionary. However, The success of GPT-2 presented the team with a serious ethical dilemma. Altman explained, "We realized that this technology could be used to create misinformation on a massive scale. Therefore, we made an unprecedented decision not to publish the full model immediately." This decision sparked heated debate in the scientific community. Many criticized OpenAI for deviating from the principles of openness. Altman countered, "We did not abandon openness. We just gave the world time to prepare for this technology. We published less powerful versions of the model and observed their use." The development of GPT-3, introduced in 2020, became an even more ambitious project. With 175 billion parameters, this model exceeded all expectations. Altman spoke about the process. "Training GPT-3 was a colossal technical challenge. We used the Microsoft Azure supercomputer, and even with its power, the process took several months. Ethical issues became even more acute." Altman admitted, "With GPT-3, we entered uncharted territory. The model demonstrated the beginnings of understanding and reasoning, which raised philosophical questions about the nature of intelligence." OpenAI decided to provide access to GPT-3 through an API, controlling its use. This caused a new wave of criticism about the monopolization of technology. Altman explained, "We wanted to make sure that this powerful technology is used responsibly. The API allows us to monitor usage and prevent abuse." Another interesting OpenAI project was the development of AI for playing Dota 2. In 2019, their bot OpenAI 5 defeated the world champions of Dota 2, demonstrating the ability of AI to surpass humans in complex strategic games. But the real breakthrough came in 2022 with the release of ChatGPT. This model, capable of conducting meaningful dialogue on any topic, literally blew up the internet. In the first 5 days after its launch, ChatGPT gained 1 million users, a record that no other service had been able to break before. The success of ChatGPT attracted the attention of the largest technology companies. In January 2023, Microsoft announced a multi-billion-dollar investment in OpenAI, which sparked a new wave of discussions about the future of AI and its impact on society. Altman actively participated in these debates, speaking before the U.S. Congress and other government bodies on AI regulation. He emphasized the need for a balance between innovation and safety. "We are creating technology that can change the world. Our responsibility is to ensure that these changes are positive," Altman stated. However, OpenAI's path was not smooth. The company faced criticism for its policy of gradual disclosure of technology, which some considered contrary to the original principles of openness. Altman responded to this criticism, arguing that such an approach is necessary to ensure the safe development of AI. The events of November 2023 were a real earthquake in the world of technology. On November 17th, the OpenAI board of directors unexpectedly announced the dismissal of Sam Altman as CEO. The official statement read, "Mr. Altman has not been consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering his ability to fulfill his responsibilities. The board no longer has confidence in his ability to continue leading OpenAI." This decision caused shock in the industry. Altman later said, "I learned about my dismissal a few minutes before the public announcement. It was like a bolt from the blue." The reaction of OpenAI employees was immediate and violent. More than 700 of the 770 employees signed a letter threatening to quit if Altman was not reinstated. One of OpenAI's leading researchers stated, "Sam is the heart and soul of our company. Without him, OpenAI loses its meaning." Microsoft, OpenAI's largest investor, also intervened in the situation. CEO Satya Nadella personally called Altman and offered him to head a new AI division at Microsoft. "This offer was tempting," Altman admitted, "but I felt that my mission at OpenAI was not yet complete." 5 days later, after intense negotiations, Altman's return as CEO was announced. He said, "These were the most stressful days of my life. We spent dozens of hours in negotiations, trying to find a solution that would suit everyone." As a result, a new board of directors was formed, and OpenAI pledged to conduct an independent investigation into the events that led to the crisis. Altman noted, "This experience made us rethink the company's management structure. We realized that we need a more transparent and inclusive approach to decision-making." This episode not only demonstrated Altman's influence in the world of technology, but also raised important questions about governance and ethics in companies developing advanced AI technologies. Despite his public persona in the professional sphere, Sam Altman has always tried to keep his personal life private. However, it is known that he is openly gay and an active supporter of LGBT rights. The story of Sam Altman and Oliver Mulheron's relationship began in 2015 at an artificial intelligence conference in San Francisco. Altman recalled, "I was giving a presentation about the future of AI and noticed a guy in the audience who was asking incredibly insightful questions. After the presentation, we started talking, couldn't stop." Oliver, an Australian programmer, was one of the founders of Grindr, a popular gay dating app. "When I found out that Oliver was behind Grindr, I couldn't help but appreciate the irony of the situation," Altman joked. "The app he created helped millions of gay people find a partner, and we met at a technical conference." Their relationship developed against the backdrop of the bustling professional lives of both. Altman said, "It wasn't easy to balance developing OpenAI and my personal life. Oliver understood my obsession with work because he was the same way." In 2018, after 3 years of relationship, Altman proposed. "It was a spontaneous decision," he admitted. "We were on vacation in Japan, walking through a garden in Kyoto, and I suddenly realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with this person." The public announcement of the engagement came as a surprise to many, considering Altman's usually private nature. "I decided it was important to be open," he explained. "There are still not enough LGBT role models in the technology industry, and I hoped our story would inspire others to be themselves." Altman noted that Oliver became not only a partner in his personal life, but also an important advisor in professional matters. "His outside perspective on AI issues often helps me see things from a new angle. Our discussions on the ethics of technology have influenced many decisions at OpenAI." Altman is known for his ascetic lifestyle, despite his considerable wealth. He prefers simple clothes, often wearing t-shirts and jeans, even at important business meetings. "I don't want to waste energy on things that don't matter," he says. Sam is a staunch transhumanist. He believes in the possibility of significantly extending human life with the help of technology, and even signed a contract with the company Nectome for the cryopreservation of his brain after death. "I want to live forever, and if it is not possible physically, then at least preserve my mind for the future," Altman stated. His views on the future often spark controversy. Altman predicts that artificial intelligence will radically change society in the coming decades. He believes that AI can solve many global problems, but also recognizes the risks associated with this technology. Interestingly, Altman is a big fan of science fiction. He often refers to the works of Isaac Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke when discussing the future of AI. "Science fiction helps us imagine the future and prepare for it," he says. Unlike many technology leaders, Altman is skeptical of social media. He rarely uses Twitter and Facebook, preferring personal communication or email. "Social networks create the illusion of connection, but in reality, they often alienate us from each other," he believes. Despite his achievements, Sam Altman has not escaped criticism and controversy. One of the most controversial points was his attitude towards freedom of speech and content moderation on the internet. In 2017, Altman published a post in which he criticized cancel culture and expressed concern that people are afraid to express unpopular opinions. This caused a strong reaction in the tech community, especially among those who believe that such a position could contribute to the spread of misinformation and harmful ideologies. Altman was also criticized for his role in changing the structure of OpenAI. Originally conceived as a non-profit organization, OpenAI, under his leadership, created a commercial division and began attracting large investments. Many saw this as a departure from the original ideals of openness and accessibility of AI for all. The Worldcoin project, co-founded by Sam Altman, became one of the most controversial in his career. The idea was to create a global cryptocurrency that would be distributed among users in exchange for scanning their iris. Altman explained the concept as follows. "We wanted to create a universal basic income on a global scale. Retinal scanning was a way to ensure that each person would receive their share only once." The technology behind Worldcoin was impressive. The company developed a device called the Orb, a spherical scanner capable of creating a unique digital identifier based on an eye scan in seconds. "This is a technological miracle," Altman said. "We have created the fastest and most accurate biometric identification system in the world." However, The project quickly faced harsh criticism. Security experts pointed to the risks associated with the centralized storage of biometric data of millions of people. Human rights activists expressed concern about the potential use of this technology for surveillance. Altman tried to dispel these concerns. We do not store the images of the eyes themselves. The system creates a unique code that cannot be converted back to the original image. It's like a fingerprint, but even more reliable. Nevertheless, the project faced regulatory obstacles in many countries. In Kenya, local authorities suspended Worldcoin's operations, expressing concern about the security of citizens' data. Altman acknowledged the difficulties. We understand that we are entering uncharted territory. Implementing a new global identification system is a huge challenge, and we are learning as we go. Despite the criticism, Altman remained convinced of Worldcoin's potential. This could be a tool for financial inclusion for billions of people. Yes, there are risks, but the potential benefits are enormous. Some critics also accused Altman of being overly optimistic about the capabilities of AI and paying insufficient attention to potential risks. His statements that AI can solve the global problems of humanity were often perceived as naive or even dangerous. In 2023, a scandal erupted over the leak of information that OpenAI used low-paid workers from developing countries to label potentially toxic content needed to train their AI models. This sparked discussions about the ethics of the practices of large technology companies and the responsibility for the well-being of all participants in the AI creation process. Despite these controversies, Altman remains one of the most influential figures in the world of technology. His ability to admit mistakes and adapt to criticism is often cited as one of his strengths. Sam Altman's impact on the world of technology is difficult to overestimate. Through Y Combinator, he helped launch thousands of startups, many of which have become major players in their industries. His work at OpenAI has placed him at the center of one of the most important technological revolutions of our time, the development of artificial intelligence. Altman actively participates in discussions about the future of technology and its impact on society. He regularly speaks before legislators and policymakers, calling for reasonable regulation of AI that would promote innovation while protecting society from potential risks. One of Altman's key ideas is the concept of basic income from AI. He suggests that as AI automates more and more jobs, society will need to move to a model where every citizen receives a basic income funded by profits from AI technologies. Altman also actively invests in projects related to climate technologies. He considers climate change to be one of the most serious threats to humanity and believes that technology can play a key role in solving this problem. In the field of education, Altman offers radical ideas. He believes that the traditional education system is outdated and does not meet the needs of the modern world. Instead, he proposes a model of continuous learning, where people constantly acquire new skills through online platforms and AI assistants. Despite his technological optimism, Altman is aware of the potential risks of AI development. He actively advocates for the creation of global standards and security protocols for AI systems. We must make sure that we are creating AI that will act in the interests of all humanity, not individual groups, he says. Sam Altman's philosophy about the future of technology and society goes far beyond ordinary forecasts. His vision of the future combines technological optimism with an awareness of potential risks and ethical dilemmas. Speaking about the future of artificial intelligence, Altman predicts, in the next 10-20 years, we will see AI that surpasses humans in all cognitive tasks. This will change the structure of the economy and society as radically as the Industrial Revolution, only much faster. He sees great potential in quantum computing. Quantum computers will be able to solve problems that are inaccessible to classical computers. This will lead to breakthroughs in materials science, pharmacology, and cryptography. Altman also actively discusses the prospects for neural interfaces. A direct connection between the brain and the computer can change the very concept of human consciousness. We will be able to expand our cognitive abilities, store memories outside the body, and perhaps even achieve some kind of digital immortality. In the field of genetic engineering, Altman anticipates revolutionary changes. We are on the verge of an era when we can edit the human genome, treat genetic diseases, and perhaps even increase lifespan. but this raises serious ethical questions. However, Altman does not ignore the potential risks. With great power comes great responsibility. We must be very careful in developing such powerful technologies. It is necessary to create global governance systems to minimize risks. He also reflects on the social consequences of the technological revolution. We need to rethink the concepts of work and education. In a world where AI can perform most cognitive tasks, what will determine the value of a person? How will we distribute resources in a society where traditional employment may become a rarity? Altman believes in the need for global cooperation. Technologies of this scale cannot develop in isolation. We need an international consensus on key issues in the development of AI, genetic engineering, and quantum computing. This is a challenge for all humanity, and we can only cope with it together. However, not everyone shares Altman's optimism. Many experts criticize him for underestimating the risks and ethical problems associated with the development of AI. Some accuse him of technological determinism, the belief that technologies alone can solve all the problems of humanity. Despite the criticism, Altman's influence on the discussion about the future of technology remains significant. His vision of a world where AI improves the lives of every person continues to inspire many technology entrepreneurs and researchers. The story of Sam Altman is the story of a man who is not afraid to think big and take responsibility for the future of humanity. From creating a location-sharing app to developing one of the most advanced artificial intelligence systems in the world, Altman's journey is full of bold decisions and unexpected twists. What makes Sam Altman a unique figure in the world of technology? First and foremost, it is his ability to combine visionary thinking with a practical approach to implementing ideas. He does not just dream about the future, he actively works on creating it, attracting the best minds and resources for this purpose. Altman is also distinguished by his openness to discussions and criticism. He is not afraid to admit mistakes and change course if necessary. His willingness to discuss the complex ethical issues associated with the development of AI deserves respect, even if not everyone agrees with his position. Another important feature of Altman is his desire to use technology to solve global problems, whether it's climate change, poverty, or education. He believes in the power of innovation to improve the lives of people around the world. However, one cannot ignore the controversies associated with Altman's activities. His optimism about AI sometimes borders on naivety, and some of his decisions, such as changing the structure of OpenAI, raise legitimate questions. Nevertheless, Sam Altman's influence on the world of technology is undeniable. He doesn't just create products or companies. He shapes the future we will live in. And regardless of whether you share his vision or not, one cannot help but recognize the scale of his ambitions and the potential impact of his work on the lives of each of us. What awaits Sam Altman and OpenAI in the future? Will artificial intelligence live up to the hopes placed on it? And how will society adapt to the rapid changes that these technologies bring? These questions remain open, and the answers to them will largely depend on the decisions made by people like Sam Altman. And now, we would like to hear your opinion. What do you think of Sam Altman's ideas about the future of AI in society? Do you think his approach to technology development is correct, or are there aspects that concern you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We will continue to tell you about the people who are changing the world of technology and shaping our future. See you soon.